Web3. Hmm. No one really cares about your crappy Web3 game. Actually, let me rephrase that. No players care about your crappy Web3 game. I have been an advocate of anti Web3 games, anti NFT games for the longest time. And I'll tell you why. When I look at Web3 games, when I look at NFT games, the people who are making these games, I see absolutely no passion in them on making a good game for players. They don't care about the core gameplay loop. They don't care about progression. They don't care about great graphics, which are made from scratch. They don't care about the expressions that players will have in their faces when they find that game gratifying. All they care about is how can we make the most amount of money in the least amount of time by jumping onto trends like Web3, NFT, the concept of ownership. I keep hearing this whole concept that people would love to own their own assets in games. Who are these people? Because the last time I checked, players really want to have just a good time and they want to play unique games which are innovative, which, by the way, are missing from the industry right now. And the big reason for this is game development has moved from game developers to executives in suits who go into boardrooms, make PowerPoint presentations about how a game can make money even before the game has been thought out. We are chasing these trends of Web3 games, and the more I look at them, the more I ask myself, what value are you really talking about? What value does it bring to the end user? And no one has been able to really answer these questions, except maybe saying things like users will own their assets and they'll move from one game to another wearing the same assets or having the same gun. Well, there's a legal problem in that. For users to do that, they need to actually have permission to move from games to games with respective IPs. Also, technically, how will that actually be possible? How do you take a gun from, let's say, a game like Call of Duty and bring it into Fortnite unless Epic Games and Activision have a deal that allows you to do so? And how Web3 is portraying the transactions that will go on in the game space is just a wish list which is completely devoid of how players actually play games. We have gone through the whole NFT cycle, we have gone through the whole hype of NFTs, which was right after COVID, when NFT was supposed to change how gaming is perceived. And when you look at every big games that try to integrate NFTs, and you look at the backlash that these games got from communities, the answer is very simple. Players don't care about stupid NFTs. I believe we need to go back to the concepts and basics of how games used to be made. When a group of really passionate developers, engineers, designers sat together and figured out what would be the best and most innovative game that they could make for players, as opposed to looking at a monetization chart before any prototype has been built and then fit in a game to meet this monetization chart. I fear that we are going to see a flood of these Web3 games, which are essentially going to be Unreal Engine or Unity skins, and by developers who have no idea about creating games. We are going to see the market flooded with so many of these reskins or so many of these badly made prototypes that more and more consumers are going to lose their faith in the really good, innovative games that are hidden in this whole jungle. If you're a stakeholder and you have people coming to you with these grandiose promises that they are going to make millions of dollars of gaming and they don't have a record of making games, and all they are going by is how NFTs are important, how Web3 gaming is the next big thing, I strongly urge you to do more research. I strongly urge you to do background checks and also speak to consultants, speak to other experts who have done things in the industry. There'll be a big divide between people who are selling these grandiose dreams and between people who are on the floor, who are in touch with how good games are made. I might get a lot of hate for this video, especially from NFT bros, crypto bros, Web3 bros, but I think it's really important that as game developers who are passionate about bringing the best experience to the market, we actually vocalize our thoughts. I'm not against the concept of new technology coming into games. I'm not against the concept of new ways of playing. I'm against the concept of seeing games as a gambling den where all people want to do is make money out of making crap. That is definitely a no no. I think Web3 games as a concept doesn't exist. If you ask 10 people what Web3 games mean, they'll give you 10 different answers depending on what the stakeholder pitches. And I think NFTs are absolutely useless in the gaming space. I think developers should go back again to what used to make games awesome and fun, which is listen to the audience. Thank you, and please do consider subscribing. I do hope to post really great content every week, and thanks again.